me. And he's just having struggles with the world. That's like anybody else. Well, you know what? Everybody has to struggle even as they get older. Your autism, right? Your autism is only so in control in an environment that eventually you're gonna fail. And then when you fail, you gotta reconceptualize and be like, well, now what do I do? Yeah, we do have our own. So the difference is Tipster was kind of being ableist, honestly. And he admitted it.
How? How was I being ableist? I didn't say anything ableist during that stream. The only thing I said was somebody brought up the fact that like maybe Boblax isn't like socially aware. And my response to that is, I'm going to say this, but I'm not saying it to be, I specifically said, I'm not saying this to be ableist. I said, Boblax is autistic, and that's part of being autistic. Like, you don't pick up on social cues and stuff like that. That's what I said. That is not being ableist. How is explaining what autism is, like, being ableist? Like, does any, I have to ask my chat, does anybody in my chat think that if I am explaining to a chatter what autism is, and I'm not doing it in like a malicious way or like an edgy way that's intended to make fun of autistic people, if I am explaining to you what autism is, how is that ableism? How is that ableism?
On stream. He's like, well, I don't want to be ableist. Well, you just did, dude. You just...
Giving the definition of autism is ableism. Giving the definition... Okay, chat, get this in your head. According to the Gaming fucking Otter...
isn't an excuse. It's the reason why people get bullied. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I'm not okay with people being bullied for being autistic.
Of you, they underpay you. They make you feel like your value is nothing. And you basically have to play the game of intuition to predict what their next move is. You have to know the game of chess.
What the fuck is this guy talking about? Does this guy think he's like some fucking crazy mastermind or something? What does this even mean? Look, Gaming Otter's coping and seething. I think Gaming Otter, like, you know, a lot, you hear the term narcissism thrown around a lot in like online spaces. And yeah, there are definitely some content creators that do have narcissism for sure. This is narcissism. This guy thinks way too highly of himself. Like, when you hear him talk about himself, he talks about himself like he's some mega e-celeb. And like, you know, he managed to get 35,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. That's kind of cool, I guess. He's got a handful of videos that have made some really high numbers and went viral. But for the most part, like, he's irrelevant. And I don't say that to be a dick, but it's just facts are facts, okay? If you look at his content, like in his recent viewership, like 428 views, 178 views. How did he get 1.3K by asking for money? What? They're low viewership. And you know, you can say the same thing about my channel. Like, I've got low viewership as well. That's kind of what happens when you have a content chip. When you go from being like a drama creator to not covering drama anymore, yeah, the bulk of your audience are not going to watch your shit anymore. And I went into it knowing that. But like, he talks very highly of himself like if he's a big e-celeb, and he's just not.
Look, I'm fine right now. I have a place to go to. You guys don't have to worry. Look, I have someone to stay with up till Friday. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Let me see. And they're pretty weird too. He did, I won't show all of them because they're like super time consuming. I'll just show the most noteworthy ones. They did like one drinking Cokes together, Mexican Cokes. This one's weird, the burrito one, because I'm living rent free in their heads on this one. Watch this.
The one, the only.
Boblax.
Yeah. So we got some burritos here. Go ahead, pick up your burrito right now. Do it. So I'm gonna pick up mine right now.
So they're just sitting here eating burritos together. Gaming Otter lets it slip that Bobby only agreed to do this video with him because he paid for the meal. So Bobby is probably still struggling financially to the point that he's letting this guy feed him because maybe he doesn't have money to eat. I don't know.
He agreed to it because I paid for it.
See?
Oh my god.
Bobby's just like there, like staring at the camera like a deer in the headlights. It almost feels like maybe there's someone off camera pointing a gun at his head telling him, eat the damn food.
You think we can get this fast, Tipster?
See? I get mentioned in the stream that we reacted to. I got mentioned, what was it, chat? 30, was it 32 or 37 times? I think it was 32. But yeah, I got mentioned 32 times in that fucking stream.
Dude, now I know why Tipster's fat.
Yeah, I know. Hey. Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, Tipster, we were gonna get Menudo, but we got...
But that was like the majority of that stream, other than this guy, like, you know, engaging in acts of narcissism and talking about himself constantly to the point where Bobby tries to chime in and he just ignores him. But aside from that, a pretty decent amount of the stream was just like essentially trauma bonding over their hatred for me.
Burritos instead for you. Hey, Tipster, you want some Menudo? I'll gladly buy some for you, but you'll probably be too big to enjoy it. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe.
Okay, then the other one is, let me go back real quick. This one's funny, like, we're not gonna watch the whole thing, but this one's funny because, like, it literally looks like the intro to, like, a gay porno. Like, it's almost like a gay version of, like, Casting Couch.
You know, went to some booths, got some good merch.
Yeah,
you know?
nice. So word on the street is you really like Pikmin a lot.
Yeah.
Like, okay, if you're a porn viewer, tell me you haven't seen a setup like this before. you know, the subject of the porno standing near the doorway of the hotel room. They're asking questions back and forth, and then like, you know, they just get into it.
Like Pikmin. Did you go to the San Francisco store? Did you see all the Pikmin they had there?
No.
So, you know, I got something very special you might like. So close your eyes, put your hands out. So, okay.
By the way, side note, Bobby's got some big old feet. Like those things, like those long toes look like you can like grip some shit with that. They're like eagle's talons.
Alright, open them. Alright,
But anyway, we're not gonna watch the whole thing of that. It's just really weird. The whole thing's really weird.
Excuse. Well, basically, X-Pile, I don't know what else to say to you. That's how nasty the world is. People say stuff like that all the time.
Tibby, I don't have the luxury to lose more brain cells to this man today. Jesus, I apologize. You want to watch my streams? That's fine. You want to hang out in my community in my Discord? That's cool. But like, we're not friends, so just leave me alone. And he just won't listen. And the funny thing about it is, anytime, because this guy has a history of doing this with multiple people, anytime I publicly call this guy out, you know, over the years, I've said like, leave me the fuck alone, or I do like a public call out of like him being like weird or something like that. I'll get like 3 or 4 DMs from like different people like, yo, I've had a similar experience with this guy. So he gets around and he does this shit to people. I'd even be willing to bet that he probably is doing the same thing with Boblax. He's probably doing the same thing with Boblax. He doesn't get it. When somebody tells you, leave me the fuck alone, it means leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to meet you and have a bowl of menudo. Just stop. Leave me alone. Based on seeing him here, Bobby makes sense.
I'll let him try to embarrass shame me in the game, and it's like, he'll lose in the interview.
Surprised no one has sent him a cease and desist. I don't know, man. Considering he's in LA right now and he's basically living here right now, I might file for a restraining order. No, I'm just kidding. But like, I was talking on Twitter about how fucked up that was. And this guy's like responding to these tweets about a very sensitive subject with like Nintendo related memes. Like one of the videos he responded, you know, I brought this up on yesterday's stream. I'll just bring it up again. Let me see if I can find this real quick. He responded to one of my tweets about a very sensitive issue with like a video of him cooking while dressed up as Luigi. And I'm like, bro, I'm talking about a young trans girl who committed suicide. And your response to that is, watch me cook food while dressed up as Luigi. What is wrong with you? So let me see if I can bring this up. Talking about.
I saw. You mean the OF?
This person is very deranged, Aiko. Very fucking deranged.
Yeah, I don't care at this point. Look, people are gonna
That's why so many have their own story related to this guy, because he's very fucking weird.
lie. They're gonna make narratives. So you can't trust anything the internet says. You should see the stuff that I always said about me online. You're the shit part.
So it's a super short clip, but like they tried to record him showing his phone screen with my DMs to people. You can see right there, tipster, and you can kind of, if you pay close enough attention, you can kind of see what we were talking about.
Before moving to NetSuite, we had challenges that we had a local-based server, we had a highly customized system.
If you pay close enough attention, you can kind of see what we were talking about. But yeah, he was showing people my DMs, which DMs, like Insta DMs. It's a Signal. I use Signal to chat with some of like my friends and stuff. So I added him on Signal chat at one point, and so he's like leaking like my Signal DMs with him. What are we talking about here? I had those 2. Got the old AVGN and Pat the NES Punk DVDs too, based. Oh, we're talking about 8-Bit Eric. I said I unfollowed him. Basically because like it's hard to read, but I unfollowed him because he's like in the anti-woke shit, and I got tired of seeing that shit in my Twitter feed. I sent him a meme from like a Keffel stream, like, but he's like just showing like my DMs. And again, it's not like he has any dirt in those DMs that could make me look bad or anything. Either way, it's kind of fucked up what he was doing. Kind of fucked up is an understatement, but yeah. Accuse someone of gaslighting over like the most bullshit thing. And I'll tell you why I say that. One of the last conversations I had with Boblax is I expressed to them why I was upset with them. And I told them, and by the way, what you said about Nick being comment cop is bullshit, and everybody knows it. And I told him, just admit that you lied. I wasn't even going to tell anyone. I'm being completely honest when I say this. I wasn't even going to tell anyone. I just wanted him to be honest with me. Just be honest with me and upfront, because I've been nothing but nice to you at this point. Just be honest with me. You lied about the comment cop thing. And his response to that was, I'm not going to let you and the others gaslight me. And it's like, okay, whatever, dude.
Only filter until I'm dead, but at the end of the day, if you keep asking.
Soles for his shoes? What?
Oh, Turkey Tom, right? Yeah, I think I remember that. That's a little harsh on knocking, but I'm trying to be nice.
So you don't know what pizza should be. I will say this, like, if I ever get the chance, I do got to try like some like New York pizza. I always hear New York pizza is really good. And then like, does he think you think he matters to you? I don't know. He seems like a very, I said this earlier, but I know he just got here. He seems like a very narcissistic person that thinks like way too highly of himself. So he thinks everybody cares about him when most of the time, no. Right here where he opens his sandwich, this is where things get really fucking weird.
Yeah, Tipster, you're not defending yourself. You're doing a terrible job.
I still don't understand how I'm supposed to defend myself. I still don't understand. The funny thing is, dopamine, I actually, like, even though we talk about Monster a lot, I don't drink Monster a lot. And on the rare occasion that I do have a Monster, I usually go for the 0 calorie, 0 sugar ones. But even so, those still aren't good for you.
You know what's really funny, Jens?
Okay, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. This is where it gets weird.
You know what's really funny, Jens? I'm a chubby chaser. Hey, Chippy. You like my tip?
I don't... I've never had your tip, nor do I want it.
Hey, Chippy. You want my tip?
No, I don't.
Tipster is too busy playing with his tip. That's what he's doing.
Why is he fantasizing about me playing with my tip? He's fantasizing about me jerking off, chat.
Oh my god, I secretly like him and I don't want to admit to it.
Okay, we gotta run this part over again without me interrupting it, because it's just so creepy and weird.
Yeah, Tipster, you're not defending yourself. You're doing a terrible job. You know what's really funny, Jens? I'm a chubby chaser.
Yo, he did the... Hold on, he did the Ricky Berwick tongue thing.
You know what's really funny, Jens? I'm a chubby chaser. Hey, Chippy. You like my tip? Hey, Chippy. You want my tip?
No.
Tipster is too busy playing with his tip. That's what he's doing. He's like, oh my god, I secretly like him and I don't want to admit to it.
No. I feel like he's projecting what he wants. Like, if I'm being honest, I feel like he wants me to be his big gay bear. Because for those of you guys who aren't, like, in queer communities, basically, like, gay dudes or, like, bi dudes or, like, you know, people like that, a lot... not a lot of them, but I'd say a decent amount of them are actually into big people. Like, they refer to, like, large men as bears. And, like, bears are something that's actually, like, they find them to be really attractive. So I feel like he wants me to be his big gay bear. You could do better than him, Tipster? Oh, absolutely. Besides, he's not my type. I've openly stated that, like, the kind of, like, dudes that I'm into, or, like, I'm attracted to when it comes to dudes, I'm into, like, twinks. Those are the kind of people that I'm into.
Okay, one in the chat if you think Tipster is gay for me. One in the chat if you think Tipster is gay for me.
Yeah, this is just projection. This is literally just projection. They want me to be, like, into them, and I'm just not. Goth mommies and goth daddies, where you at? True!
I'm really gonna go for it. Is Tipster gay for me? One.
No.
Hey, can we get some more ones? One.
No. Blacks hanging out together. It's like a big empty convention hall. There really isn't much that happens at VidCon. Even some of the panels I saw were, like, super fucking empty. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever actually go to VidCon. If I were to go to VidCon, it would just be to hang out to other people with other people elsewhere. Side tip, this vid can help your case on what you said earlier. I'm not actually getting a restraining order, although I think based on some of the comments he's made in this stream, I'd probably be justified in doing so if I did.